What is going on? Welcome to the 21st episode of the Sunday Spin. My name is Austin Hess with Do Panama Relocation Program. Super excited to have you on the show today. We got a great guest list. But first, just want to let you know, this whole show is all about joining on with members of our community. Now, the reason that I want to bring on members of the community is to give you guys out there, if you're looking at Panama, if you're considering Panama, obviously it's cool to see other expats that have come down to Panama, like myself, Mr. Michael Vuytowecz, who we're going to have on later in the show, and the other gentleman we're going to have on, which I'm going to introduce in just a moment. But the whole idea is to give you guys the perspective of what we see and what we do down here in Panama, just to give you an idea of what it's like, because I know a lot of people are thinking about going elsewhere, getting out of the U.S. Things are getting crazy. Who the heck knows what's happening half the time? And Panama is the perfect place. We use the U.S. dollar. We have a summer climate all year long, depending on where you live, of course. But, if you want to go up in the mountains, it's a little cooler, but still it's a summertime climate year long round. Yes, we have what's called the rainy season. I like to call it the green season. And actually, to be honest, we're just ending the green season. So our dry season starts right now at the end of December. Actually, I was out there today. I don't see that much tan, but I was out there. I was sunbathing today, really enjoying the shift in the sun. We see a big shift and it hits my balcony just perfectly. And I was able to get a nice sunning out there today, which I enjoyed a lot. So guys, again, we have a 365 day a year summer climate, but now right here at the end of December, going through the end of April, we have what's called the dry season, and we see virtually zero rain throughout the country of Panama. So that's one cool thing to understand when planning your trip to come check out Panama. Obviously, the total optimal time, if you don't like rain, is during these months. But I got to tell you, too, the other months, when it is raining, things are so green. It's so beautiful. And, like I said, I was sunbathing today about 15 minutes ago. For 7.5 minutes, it rained cats and dogs, and now it's sunny again. So welcome to Panama. That's how we do it here. Guys, I got to let you know, if you're considering Panama, if you're thinking about if I moved to Panama, where would I live? So we came up with the Do Relocation Program. We came up with a free and super fun, easygoing 23 questions called Where Should I Live in Panama? So if you want to get that, or if you want more information about the Do Panama Relocation Program, email me directly. I like you guys. I want to hear from you directly. My email, austin@dopanama.com. I look forward to hearing from you. And remember, guys, if you're out there watching right now, hit that like button, hit that love button. Please show some support. I really enjoy helping people get connected. And if you can share this video either with a watch party, or if you're watching this at a later time, share this, share this with your friends. And I really appreciate it. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing that. Guys, again, I got 3 awesome guests today. Super excited. First up today, we got Gregory Clark. He's the founder and operator of YC in Panama. Going to be a fun conversation. Gregory came to Panama with Global Brigades. He's going to tell us all about that and all about his business. He does a lot of great things for people coming to Panama. Right after that, we got Charles Burrows from Empire Consulting Group. We had Charles on last week. Had a little difficulty with the technology. Us old farts, we have a hard time sometimes. So we got Charles back on. We did some testing today. You're going to want to see this stuff, man. This guy is super intelligent. I'm blown away. Like, I am not a numbers guy. I don't know anything about the stock market and where to put money, where to invest. And this dude is just incredibly intelligent. I want him to show you what he showed me today. Super, super cool stuff. And then, of course, we got Mr. Michael Vuytowecz, founder of Inside Panama Real Estate, our great sponsor here on the show. We are going to show 2 listings throughout the show. And then at the end of the show, when Mike comes on, we have the 3rd listing of the day. And guys, it's that video of that awesome, incredible deal that's over in Coronado Golf that he was talking about, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. So you do not want to miss that. We got the video today, dude. We got the video. We're going to show it to you. It's incredible. The deal's out of this world. You're not even going to believe it. If you remember, Mike actually bought condos himself there because the deal is so incredible. So you're going to want to check that out. We got a great video of that third listing that we show you today, and that will be at the end of the show with Mr. Michael Vuytowecz. Guys, if you want to get the free ebook, you're thinking about moving to Panama, Mike put together an awesome relocation ebook. It's all about how to move your dog here, how to come here, all the ins and outs of Panama. So again, him, myself, and everybody on the show, we just like our lifestyle down here. We like to have fun, and we like to help people. It's enjoyable to have other friends down here, like-minded people. So if you like us, come on down to Panama, get a margarita in your hand. Let's have some fun. Let's go to an island, and let's go fish and golf and whatever you like. We enjoy all that too. So guys, can't wait to talk to all these. Remember, we got Gregory coming up right now, but give me 60 seconds. I'm going to play a quick video, my favorite video of Panama, and we'll be right back. Remember, 60 seconds with Gregory Cart. All right, guys, here with the infamous, this guy is just an all-out, traveling, fun-loving, awesome human being. Yes, I'm talking Mr. Gregory Clark, founder and operator of YC in Panama. How you doing today, brother?
Hello, Mr. Hess. Thanks for having me. I am doing great. I am out here on sunny East La Cantadora, and it is just beautiful. The beaches are open. We're having a little bit of fun.
Oh, man, I am so jealous. I see you over at this beautiful hotel just outside the city. What was that, Monkey Lodge?
Yeah, Monkey Lodge. It's like right there. It's a little oasis in the middle of Chilibre, just 25 minutes from the city, up the Corridor Norte. It's beautiful escape.
I saw some photos that you posted. I actually saw their Facebook a few weeks ago. Super excited. Like, that's super cool that it's right outside the city. It looks like you're in the middle of the jungle, which we are. Even Panama City's in the middle of the jungle. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Thanks for showing me that. And then you hopped on a plane, dude. You hopped on a private plane. You bopped over you're in the Pearl Islands now?
Yeah, got to keep the Christmas vacation adventures going.
Oh, bro, I love it. Yeah, I understand. I definitely understand. So tell me, what brought you to making Panama your home, and what's it like living as a young entrepreneur in Panama City?
Well, that's two big questions. I guess first off, I was working with an NGO back in the day, back in my university years, called Global Brigades, and that was my introduction to Panama. It brought me here, working on some projects, microfinance projects, water projects. The organization basically brings volunteers from universities, medical schools down into various countries to basically offer either medical clinics, mobile medical clinics in the jungle, or microfinance programs, architectural programs. There's like all different kinds of things. So that was kind of my intro. And at that point, when I first came down, I felt the energy. And it's right? I'm sure you know, Panama has that certain je ne sais quoi, like that. Je ne sais quoi. Boom, you get that, you're in here, and you're like, wow. I
couldn't think about living anywhere else after I felt that, because I felt it like right away. And then you get over and over. And it's like you do this, and then you go to this archipelago, and then you go to this archipelago, and you don't think life can get any better. And then you go to San Blas.
Absolutely. That's just the thing. Panama does have all these beautiful spots just to explore and to see. So, yeah, I fell in love with it. And I was able to basically parlay my work with the organization to a full-time job down here for a couple of years. And from that, I was just kind of, I wanted to come back. I wanted to be involved. So I ended up purchasing a hostel and bar in Bocas del Toro. which was Mando Type 2, one of the famous little party hostels back in the day on the islands. But since, yeah, I'm sure many people remember their bogus days. But then they kind of switched and turned. I moved back to the city, and I've been working a lot more in tourism, group packages. So the Global Brigades they bring volunteer groups. You'd be working with to organize a big group of volunteers from the university and bring them down for a week-long volunteer project. But the same model is what we're using for the group tourism and either luxury tourism and fishing. I mean, you name it. And that's kind of what I've now moved into now. That's kind of your second question there. And I mean, other than the pandemic, it's affected tourism for all of us. But it's moving, and we're still getting people coming in. I mean, it's great to see just the hotels having people here in Contadora. I mean, I'm out at the other hotel, the Monkey Lodge, just trying to explore and keep my finger on the pulse. And people are moving. People are at least doing some stuff. Obviously, you have to be safe, and we're always safe. I basically take a test every time we have a group. I'm basically taking another test. So I'm always getting those COVID tests just to make sure I'm safe, everyone's safe around me, and we're doing our part.
So now you bring up the test. I got to ask. I haven't done it, and I haven't put myself really out there. I've been kind of a hermit crab here. It's like probably my homiest month or year, should I say, of my life. How is the process? Where do you go to get tested here in Panama City?
Oh, so basically you can just do the rapid tests. Those are offered at the Panama Clinic in Punta Pacifica, or I'll go over to the Punta Pacifica Hospital, basically around the corner. And I mean, it's 1, 2, 3. They do the test, and it's pretty simple. Get the test results back within a couple hours.
That's awesome. Okay, so before we jump into your business down here, I've been watching you for years. I've been good friends with you for many, many years. And just recently, in the last, 3-4 years, you really nailed it, man. And you're doing big things in Panama. And I want to talk about that, but I want to go back real quick to Global Brigades and, other people, and maybe there's parents out there that are watching this and say, that sounds like my kid or something that my son or my daughter would be interested in. What can you recommend to anyone thinking about, thinking like, oh my gosh, I live in Nebraska, but am I going to send my kid to Panama to go on Global Brigades? What is the experience that is typical of someone that joins one of these programs?
I mean, that's the thing is, I'd say there is no one typical person. It's everyone from every different walk of life. If you have an interest to help, you just kind of want to just maybe not even help, but just explore and just be a part of something instead of going on a party vacation in college to Vegas or something. You take the week and you come down here they have other countries they work with, a variety of countries from Honduras, Ghana, Panama, different places. But that's the thing. It's if you're looking just to try something new, put yourself, I guess, outside your comfort zone and just try and aid a community for a week. And there you go. I mean, I think for me, it was a very valuable experience. It introduced me to this beautiful land, but I got a little sun. The sun's popping up behind me. I'm over here.
Oh, God forbid. God forbid. You got some sunshine there on the beautiful island.
There we go. I'll just turn this way. Here we go. So, no, some might be scared to let their children, want them to be going abroad to these countries in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the jungle. But you just gotta know it's safe. We're not talking the middle of, South Sudan. We're talking about a very safe, developed country here in Panama. So, I mean, security has never been an issue. I think that's just something to really consider it.
And actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think for me, I've always been kind of someone that always is looking and making sure that I'm always in a safe position. And I swear, I never felt more safe in my entire life. We don't have all this craziness, yes, we are down past Mexico and Honduras and, we're way down here. We're right before Colombia, right below Costa Rica. And it's just, I honestly have never felt more safe in my entire life. It's just incredible across the whole country too. It's just, it's a cool place. So that's one of the biggest things for me that boom that you talked about was, going out and drinking with the local Panamanians and forgetting your cell phone. And, 45 minutes later, the guy's knocking on your door. Hey dude, you left this in the taxi. It's like, what? little things. It's like, and it's the little things that matter, and that's definitely super, super cool element of Panama. All right. So we talked about Global Brigades, super cool organization. Guys, you want more information on that? Google it. You know how to use Google. It's right up there. Now, I want to talk to you, Greg, about YC in Panama. What is this business about? How did you come up with it? And what is your main target of people that are coming into the country?
So yeah, YC, it stands for Your Concierge. So it's basically a concierge company focused on providing, luxury group travel experiences into Panama. If you wanted to go a little cheaper, you can still go cheaper. But we do everything of teaming up with Panama Sport Fishing Lodge in Boca Chica to offer all-inclusive fishing charters and some of the most famous fishing grounds, in this world has to offer, such as Hannibal Bank, Isla Montuosa, around Coiba. It's just fishing year round. It's great.
I've been there, dude. It's incredible.
Yeah. It truly is. As well as then offering, private yachts. If you want to go through the Pearl Islands and actually really experience the beauty of these islands, you can't just be on one. You got to travel around. You got to island hop and really get to know the different spots, what they have to offer. So we organize the yachts, organize private parties. It might be you need your private plane. Like we just took out here in case of, you're in Ascension. You need to get out here. And it's actually it's a lot more affordable than you may think. People say, oh, private plane. No, I can't ever afford that. It's like, no, yes, you can. It's like
pretty darn
it's quite easy.
Actually.
So that's basically the gist. And yes, very, very affordable. Like for, let's say 3-4 people, you're talking about $450. That's for a private. So you're talking about $150 per person for. Yeah, just over 100. Sorry, your math is better than mine.
I haven't been partying all week, dude.
Yes. If you do notice, I'm a little tired, man. The sun, the snorkeling, the beach. I'm a little zapped, but it's the price I pay.
Well, then let's talk about this. So when you say groups, you also do like bachelor parties. You have celebrities that come down and bachelorette parties. Anybody. You really cater to any person out there that's looking for a unique experience, from fishing to great services all around the board. Four-wheeling through the jungle.
Yeah, it's about absolutely. It's about showing the best that Panama has to offer and actually providing that service that you might not be able to have found before. But it's catered to groups. So it's not necessarily, we'll operate 1-person, 2-person groups, but typically we're talking like, larger groups. You get your friends together up at home, and you bring them down.
Have a good time in Panama.
Absolutely. We cater predominantly to Canadians and Americans, but we've since expanded for the fishing is a lot more in the Brazilian market, as well as then touching into Mexico a little bit. But we're basically trying to bring people to Panama, and everyone wins when we're just bringing people in.
I love it. Okay, so if someone, whether they're in Panama or they're outside of Panama, want to get in contact with you, how can they check out your website? Let's get your details.
Absolutely. So there's a couple different websites depending on what that group experience is. We basically branched off and allowed these different sub brands to market themselves and be, recognized as their own thing. So the sport fishing, you can look at that one as PanamaSportFishingLodge.com. Check it out. We do motherships. Stay on a yacht right off of Isla Coiba. So you're basically just 20 minutes from the fishing grounds. Talk about you're anchored in paradise, and then you're just doing some world-class fishing. So that's the one. For yachts, private yachts, you're looking just to go on a yacht party for a day. You want to go through San Blas, take the family. It's when it reopens, of course. But that would be ycyachts.com. ycyachts.com. And yes, it's like Your Concierge Yachts. And then the last one there is going to be just our general look at planes, transport, you name it. It's just ycinpanama.com.
Awesome. Love it. And I know you're having a good time out there. I'm super jealous. I am sitting in Albrook. I'm still in Panama. I'm not on an island. But
I wish you could be here to join us.
Oh, my friend, please kiss the beautiful ocean water for me. Get that white sand in your toes. Guys, Contador Island, if you've never heard of it, you've never been there, it's located in the Pearl Islands. You're talking a 15, 20-minute flight from Albrook Airport right here in Panama City. Or they have a ferry that goes out there, Sea Las Perlas Ferry. awesome ferry company leaving the Amador Causeway. You're talking 90-minute ferry ride out to Contadora. They have other islands out there as well. There's some islands. Most of them are inhabited. So, I mean, this is a place where they film a lot of the Survivor type TV shows. Actually, I think a lot of the Survivor shows were filmed out there, but then they have a lot of other shows with Bear Giles that are done out in the Pearl Islands, and there's a reason for it. It's beautiful, and there's no houses and hotels and roads and power lines. You know, you get the full nature aspect out there. So if you're into nature, you love beautiful outdoors type activities, Panama is definitely your place, and Greg is your guy to contact. Bring a group, get 10 guys together, come on down. He'll show you a good time. He knows where all the good parties are, the best yachts, and how to get around this beautiful country. Greg, appreciate you coming on, my friend. Wish you a great time out there in Contadora, and I'll see you when you get back. Guys, we're going to put on our first listing of the day. Remember, Inside Panama Real Estate. If you have any questions about this listing that we see here, or you want to get that free ebook, email free ebook at ipreinfo.com. And don't worry, at the end of the show, Mr. Vuytowecz is going to come on and talk about all the listings, plus that really freaking super amazing, out of this world, incredible deal at Coronado Golf. You do not want to miss that. Greg, I'll see you soon. Enjoy the island, my brother.
Take care.
All right, guys, welcome back. Now, I just real quickly, before I bring Charles on, I want to say, you know, we're running on 7 different channels across Facebook, pages and groups and YouTube. Please, if you have questions, just comment. I'll go over those comments at the end of the show, or you can always email me, austin@dopanama.com, and get in touch with me any time of the day, any hour. I'm typically awake unless I'm playing soccer in the field with my son, since we're kind of on a little Christmas lockdown right now. But guys, I want to bring on Mr. Charles Burrows with Empire Consulting. We had Charles on last week. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but guys, this guy is intelligent. He's super smart, and I really want him to come back on and understand this magical number. You know, it's all about your magical number. What is it, and how do we achieve getting there? So I think Charles is going to come on. He's going to share his screen here. And welcome to the show, Charles. How are you doing?
I'm great, Austin. How are you?
Doing great, brother.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Unfortunately, last week had a few technical difficulties, like I say, with the old farts. Should have called my 13-year-old daughter in to come and fix them for me. But now we're up and running. So I'm hoping to share some really interesting insights. I think really what we're talking about today should be the foundation of anyone's financial planning. So before you start thinking, should I buy stocks? What should I be doing with my money? If you don't have a plan to what you're doing, then you can never really be 100% successful in anything. So I think we need to start really asking some more fundamental questions about what is it that you really need and how is it you're going to achieve that, rather than just saying, oh, the stock market looks like a great place to put my money, I'm going to throw it in. I don't know when I'm taking it out. I don't know what my risk strategy is. And unfortunately, I've done this for 20 years. And even some of the most educated professionals in the market, financial directors of banks and major corporations, they spend hours of their career focusing on their company strategy to ensure their company makes money, and then they reevaluate and reassess. But then when it comes to their own money, they haven't got a clue how much money they've even got in their pension, how it's invested, or what's going on with it. So hopefully, not only on this one, but if we do a few others, I can maybe help educate a few people into maybe the right kind of thought process so that they won't take unnecessary risks and they understand exactly what they're doing to try and achieve their goals.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And what I want to do here is, I know you got this great calculator. Can you share your screen with us and so we can pull that up?
Yeah, sure. So let's talk a little bit about the magic number, because for me this is the starting point for everything. Like I said before, a lot of people will want to get 10% or 8% return, but they might not necessarily need that. They might need more, they might need less. So a starting point to understand your magic number is to just ask a few basic financial planning questions. Okay, so because I came across this so often, I realized it was such a big gap in people's knowledge. We developed a calculator, which we have on our website for free, that anyone can go on and run the numbers and play around with. So I'll take you through it very, very quickly. And we can run a couple of scenarios that might be applicable to some of the people that are watching. And then if they want to go on, or if they want to arrange a meeting with me to understand it better, I'd be more than happy to do that for them. So Austin, I can't see you right now, so you just holler at me if you want to jump in with any questions, okay?
Yeah, you're looking good. I see your screen. Go ahead and listen. I'm really amazed by what this is.
Okay, so let's talk about the magic number. So first of all, we need to think about kind of client types. Okay, let's take two examples. We'll start with maybe adults thinking about their retirement. Maybe families with a couple of kids or whatever. Considering maybe let's say they're around 45 years old. And they plan to retire, let's say, around age 60. So they've got 15 years to really get their act together to understand what they will need to achieve. So we take average life expectancy, which officially is around 85. We look at desired annual retirement income. So the average that I commonly come across would be around $4,000 a month. So you're looking at $48,000 a year in income. So that's the desired income they'd like to have every single year from age 60 until age 65. Yeah. Okay. Now what we look at, but you can skip this. You can skip the desired estate. This is basically what you want to leave behind. But let's just focus on imagining we're building up enough money to spend and have zero left. So we're not counting properties. We're counting liquid investments that we're going to spend all that money. There'll be nothing left when we're 85. So if you're 83 and you're doing well, you better start drinking and smoking and jumping out of aeroplanes, because this calculation will tell you by age 85 you'll be out of money. Okay.
And just so other people know, they can come on, and when they put in their age, if you want to live to 95 or you're expecting to live, maybe your family is old age people. You see a lot of people in your family living to age 100. You probably want to put that age in there. I guess people like Charles and I and Mr. Mike and Greg here, 85 is a good one for us.
Yeah, so this is it's a very good point, right? So it's very good to look at like your parents will give you a good idea about your genetics. Healthcare until the start of this year was meaning we were probably going to live until 100, but with coronavirus, who knows? So yeah, it's good for you to try and work it out, because essentially this is, if you run these numbers and you follow this financial plan, this map that we create, you will run out of money if you keep spending the $4,000 a month based on these scenarios. So yeah, you can play around with the numbers and they'll change. So what we need to look at is, which is an extremely important factor, is the average inflation rate. Now, the average inflation rate today in the US is around 1.2%. In Panama, it's actually negative 1.6%. However, if we're talking about the next 40 years, from age 45 today until age 85, it's extremely unlikely that we won't see any inflation. And it's very likely we will see much higher inflation in the future because of all the money printing and all the bailouts and all the money that's been printed by the governments. Eventually, that will create inflation. And just very briefly, if you want to understand a little bit better about inflation, if you go to trading economics, you can see here like the history of inflation, for example, for the US. A lot of people don't know, but the US actually had negative 15% inflation, and then they had positive 20% inflation. So generally what happens, it's like a seesaw. Inflation is like a seesaw that never really balances, because governments are constantly fighting it to create inflation, but then they create too much, and then they're trying to work to to wind inflation down. So that's why we get these ebbs and flows of inflation. Now, at the moment, we're in one of those low points. But because of what's happening as a consequence of that, we will go into a high point in the future. So it's extremely important that you overestimate inflation, because if not, you're going to have a lot less money than you expect. So I would say the more exaggerated you are with the inflation number, the better, because if inflation doesn't get there on average over that period of time, you're going to have way more money than you expected. However, if you underestimate it, you won't have enough. So let's say if we're talking about US inflation at 1.2, Panamanian inflation at 1.6, I would say the minimum you have to estimate would be 3% over the next 40 years. It will probably be, on average, be higher than that. But let's just use 3% as a starting point. So now we have to ask the next question, okay, well, how much money do you actually have that is invested in the market right now? So let's just take an average. Let's say this couple, 45 years old, they have $300,000 in liquid savings in the market. We need to consider what rate of return they're getting right now. And with interest rates being so low, let's assume they're getting an average of 5% return on their money. So if they continue to get 5% return on their money and inflation gets an average of 3%, they're obviously making a net profit of 2% a year on their 300,000. Okay. So now what we're going to do is run these numbers based on this scenario. And we know that basically the target for this theoretical client is that they need to achieve $1.4 million in savings from over the next 15 years, okay, by age 60 in order to achieve their goals. At present, they have a shortfall. They are missing out a total of $847,000, because if they carry on doing what they're doing, they're only going to achieve less than half of what is required. So here you can see that if they were to save monthly to try and catch that up, if they're only getting 5% growth, they need to save $3,600 a month, every single month for the next 15 years. Now, if they can afford to do that, that's fantastic. But if they can't, they need to start changing their financial planning. So the first obvious place to look would be, okay, what if I make my money grow better than it is today? So what would be, and this is what we talk about, the magic number. What is your magic number? Is how much does your money need to grow by in order to achieve your goals? So in this scenario, let's take it to 6%. At 6%, we already go down to a required savings, monthly savings of $2,300 a month. So if they're getting 7%, now they only need to save $1,200 per month. And at 8%, they're almost there, right? So I'd say what, like 8.1% will probably get them there, or 8.2% would probably get them there, something like that. Okay, so let's say 8.5. So in this scenario, yeah, it's about 8.4%. So the magic number in this scenario is basically 8.4%. Now, if they're getting 5, that's only an increase of 3.4%. That's not that much. However, if they don't take action today, every year that goes on, that's going to go into 9 to 10 to 12, and it's going to make them have to take significant risk on their investments just to achieve their goal. And what our goal is to see how can we ensure that people get to their retirement as soon as possible without taking unnecessary risk, and then maintain a good quality of life through retirement without taking unnecessary risks. So in this scenario, the client could say, well, you know, I want to maintain a low risk profile. I want to keep it at 5%. I don't want to get anything more than that. So what else will they have to consider? Well, in that scenario, they'd have to maybe consider retiring 5 years later. Let's have a look at the impact. So we can see by retiring five years later, they're halving the required savings amount. So this is basically the starting point to really get people to understand the real importance of not only understanding the growth, but having regular reviews to ensure that they're on target. And if they're not, adjusting very quickly so that doesn't get out of control in the long term.
Man, I love it. That is incredible to do. And so, guys, remember, you can go to Charles's website, do all this. Obviously, I've also, in the text above, I put a link to connect with Charles. It's cool that on his website also, with that link, you can set up an appointment. It's a free appointment. I'm just blown away by this, and I like sharing, again, good information with people out there that are trying to do what they are set out to do. Everyone has the dream of retiring in paradise. I'm a little different. I'm working in paradise as I'm working to retire in paradise, because I like paradise. What can I say? So talk to us, Charles, if they're looking to get a hold of you any other way, give us your website as well, and maybe some numbers that they can get in touch with you at.
Yeah, sure. So, you can contact me via email, via telephone. On the website, the best place to go essentially is on the website. You're going to get here, empire-consulting.net. And you'll have the contact numbers, the global contact numbers at the top. So London, Switzerland, New York, Hong Kong. If you want to talk to me directly, you can contact me here. We've got Brazil and Panama as well. If you want to arrange a call or arrange a meeting, the same link I think that you're sharing, they can select on the website as well. So that's probably the best way to get me. Or you can contact Austin and get my personal email address. I'll be more than happy to talk to anyone. I'll give my time and my knowledge away free, even if people are not necessarily looking to invest with me, because I just think, knowledge is really important here, and especially right now with where the market is. The market's an extremely dangerous place right now. You've got interest rates very low, but you've got stock market that is massively overvalued. How much time do we have, Austin? Can I just touch on one other subject?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I think this is, I think we need to arrange another conversation just to share this kind of information as well. But it's really scary right now how much risk the average investor is taking without even really knowing what they're doing. And I have a lot of examples of why this market is being pushed by retail investors that don't really have a lot of knowledge. But I think what you need to understand whenever you invest in anything is, again, like, where are we right now? You've got to understand where you are on the map. Now, if you go back over a long period of time and you look at the market, well, we had a growth from 94 until 2000 in the stock market, which was a bull market cycle, positive cycle, 233%, which ultimately was driven at the end by the dot-com bubble. When the internet came online and all these internet companies came online, they got these huge, massive overvaluations. It drove the market up. It was unsustainable. And then what happened? A natural market cycle, it crashed. Okay, and we had a 40-50% crash that went down to 2002. So from 2002, the market lost 49%. The market reset itself, started again, and we had the same thing. We had another growth market where the market went up by 97%. Then everyone knows the financial crisis, the banks got greedy, crashed the market dropped 50%. Right now, we are, from the last bottom, we are 419% higher than we were after the previous crash, and from the previous high, we're like 200% above. The scary thing about this is you've got to look at the overall market, right? So why do we have these growths and these crashes in the market? Is basically because the market depends on greed. It depends on consumption. It depends on all of us consuming way more than we need. I've got like 10 pairs of trainers. Some people have 2 or 3 properties. Some people have 4 or 5 cars in some cases. You can only drive 1 car and eat so many meals and do so many things in a day or a week. So the problem is that corporate profits need to be made. And so what happens, the markets give us more credit so we can consume more and consume more. And essentially we're living in our future lives, right? But it's unsustainable. And that's why you have these ebbs and flows in the markets where you have rallies and crashes. The dangerous thing about what's happening right now is from the financial crisis, the reason the market managed to get so high until this point was because they started printing money out of nowhere, giving money to central banks, to companies, and now they're even giving money to people for nothing, just to stay at home. The problem is the economy. So where is the economy right now? Well, if we said, well, the economy was going well, and then here it's going badly, and then it's going well, and then it's going badly, then it's going well and doing well, and then we get into the COVID scenario. And that has probably created one of the biggest holes in the economy ever seen. Now, what we have right now is economy starting to recover, vaccines are coming out, but the market is saying to us that if we go back in time to this time last year. December. So we're in December right now. If we go back to December of last year, the stock market is telling us that the world is 15% better than it was this time last year. I don't think it's even 1% better than it was this time last year. So what you've got is an economy down here and a market up here. And you've got a velocity of growth, which is pretty damn unsustainable. I mean, it's very hard to think that the market can just keep doing that on these kind of foundations. We need the economy to recover, people to get their jobs back, people to travel again. All of that's going to take a long time. So this is because of free money that's being fueled by governments taking out of nowhere. Now, what's the expectation? Can the markets keep going up? Well, theoretically, yes. But what is likely to happen? The likely thing to happen right now is a hell of a lot of volatility without any real growth as we wait for the economy to get back up into a place where the market can actually continue to grow from there. So the challenge that investors face right now is, where do I put my money? If I put it into fixed income, if I put it into bonds, I'm not going to get paid anything. And to be honest with you, I don't like the debt market right now either. I don't think it's worth it. So then I go to the stock market, but most of the stocks I look at are all-time record highs. So the real challenge people have, especially if they're coming or they're in their retirement or they're coming to their retirement, is how do I preserve wealth? How do I take away all the risk and the volatility of this market in order to get a consistent 8 to 10% growth? And that is really where you need to understand what's available to you in the market, where you need to really understand the options that you have. And what we're advocating right now are structured products, structured investments, because with a structured investment, right now, if you want to own stocks, the best stocks to own in the world are Amazon, Walmart, Google. These are the biggest companies that are basically bulletproof from COVID, from other recessions, because they get stronger when we're on lockdown. They're not going to go bankrupt. The problem is they're massively overvalued. So you can buy them, but you might not make any money for 2 or 3 years and see a hell of a lot of volatility. So what a structured product will allow you to do is to buy Apple, Google, and Amazon, and you basically make a contract with the bank and say, I don't want any of the upside. If they go up 10, 20, 100%, I don't care. I don't want the upside, but I also don't want to participate in the downside. And
obviously,
not taking, sorry?
I said, of course not.
Of course not. Yeah. So the idea is that you can say, okay, well, I'd like to own Amazon, Apple, Google. I'd like to own these companies. But to be honest with you, what I'm looking for is a fixed income return of, let's say, 8% a year. So the bank will agree with you, okay, as long as those stocks don't fall more than 40%, let's say we choose 40%, we won't give you any of the upside of the stock, but you won't participate in any of the downside of the stock up to 40%. And in exchange for that, we'll give you an income of 0.8% per month, maybe 1% per month, depending on how you structure this kind of product. And I think that, for me, with the way the economy is down here, the market is here, the uncertainty, the volatility, it's probably the safest way you can actually achieve a return in this market. And I call them sleep easy investments, because when you look at your portfolio and it's down 20 or 30% because we're going through a moment of volatility, it's very hard for people that don't understand the market not to take an emotional decision and start selling or changing the portfolio. And it's even worse for investors that have to buy and hold, because they might have to wait for 12 months, 2 years just to get back to zero. And in the meantime, they're maybe needing to take money out of their investments. And the great thing about the structured products as well, particularly for retirees, is that they get a monthly cash payment. So they're not waiting every 6 months for an income. They're actually getting a residual monthly income, which is more convenient, I would say, for most people.
Man, that is awesome. I love it. It's incredible. And I love that, before the call and even last week, that you mentioned that, none of the people that work with you, none of their money crosses through your hands. Like, you're just the facilitator. You're the, you've worked these deals with the banks, and you're just there to make sure that they do it right and to hold their hand through the process. And I think that's super cool. It gives people obviously a lot of confidence to work with you. So again, guys, to get in touch with Charles, you want more information, his link is in the text above. Charles, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. We're going to have Mr. Michael Vuytowecz coming up next. We're going to play one more listing before he comes on, and then we're going to be playing that big Coronado kaboom awesomeness that's happening here in Panama. And thanks again, Charles. I appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Austin. Great to talk to you as always. And I think maybe we could do a couple more of these so we could get through all the different subjects. But anytime you want to talk, I'm here and available, okay?
Perfect, my friend. Man, I gotta say, I really like that tune. And Jiminy Christmas, that was a beautiful condo and nice white sand. That's what, gosh, Vista Mar, I think about an hour and a half west of Panama City. Guys, super excited. As you know, Mr. Michael Vuytowecz, founder of Inside Panama, here on the show today. Mike, I trust that you had a great Christmas. How you doing in paradise?
Well, it was pretty quiet out here in Coronado. As you know, we're locked down.
Well, you know, it gives time. You know, I actually got a park right next door to me, so I played a little soccer. We ran some laps today. Good times. I know it's not the ideal situation to spend Christmas not running our toes through the white sand. But let's talk about the listings today, okay? So we got these first two listings. We had that beautiful beachfront lot. Now we just saw a beautiful condo at Vista Mar. Talk to us about these listings, then we're going to get into that super cool video that you were talking about 3 weeks ago with that new Coronado Golf super special deal. So run us through those first two properties we saw today, Mike.
Okay. Well, the beachfront lot is located inside of a development called Lago Bay. Lago Bay is about 15 minutes outside of Santa Catalina in the Vuytowecz Peninsula. The Lago Bay is a private community. Developer's been out there for over 15 years. Very slowly building beachfront homes. There's a boutique hotel that was just built there that's just about to open. COVID slowed it down a little bit. There's a large pond that's stocked. He has an airstrip out there. Lots of permaculture, and there's lots of beachfront lots, literally, for like a kilometer or two down this beach. This particular lot is 1,720 square meters, which is just under a half acre of literally beachfront.
Right there.
Yeah, ready to build. It's got electric, it's got water. There's houses that are popping up in the area already. It's unbelievable.
Talk to us about the price of that to build a beautiful house there on that beach lot.
She's asking 130,000 for the lot. I'm sure that's negotiable, as everything else in Panama. And to build a home there on that lot, I would, having built several homes, I would figure it at $1,200 a meter. The way that I would expect to have it finished, you could probably do it for less and mitigate some cost by being there every minute of every day to make sure it's going exactly the way you want it to go. But it's somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 a meter.
Awesome. Okay, and then so we had that lot, beautiful lot, beachfront lot, great deal. Again, remember, guys, if you want more information on those two listings or anything else, and or to get that free relocation ebook from Inside Panama, email free ebook at ipreinfo.com. Now, before we jump into that last video, let's talk about the condo we saw. That's a beautiful condo, beautiful marina, beautiful white sand. Where were we in that video, Mike?
Well, that development is called Vistamar. It's in San Carlos. It's 10 minutes from Coronado, heading west. That condo was originally just under 500,000. It's a fabulous condo. It's large. It's 177 square meters, so it's almost 2,000 square feet. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 master suites, really. It's got a large maid's quarters. It's big enough that he uses it as his office, so it's pretty good size. One of the cool things about this unit as well is it has direct access from the elevator. So with the key, the elevator stops and the door opens and you walk into your unit.
Into your living room.
Yeah, it's very
Dude,
cool.
I've always wanted that. It's like reminds me of like James Bond or something.
I knew you'd like that.
Come on, you know.
The owner completely remodeled the kitchen in this thing. It's got high-end appliances, and it's really well
beautiful.
Sadly, it used to be furnished, so it showed a lot nicer when it was furnished. But he had a very long-term tenant in there that moved out, and of course, the furniture went bye-bye as well. So the video, of course, shows it as it actually is. But it's ready for your own furniture. You still have the golf course and the marina and the beach club, and it's
gorgeous
really,
view. I actually would prefer to buy a house without furniture, to tell you the truth. You know,
well,
your personality, your furniture's your personality, you know. So tell us, what is that 2-bedroom unit cost?
He's asking $329,000. I'm certain it's still negotiable. The monthly HOA fee is $267 a month. Includes gas, water, trash, pickup, security, 24-hour concierge, and membership in the beach club.
Dude, sweet. Awesome. Yeah. All right, guys. So what you all been waiting for, you remember, what was it, 3 weeks ago, Mike came on talking about, he was super excited. He bought a condo, or he bought 2 condos because Coronado Golf has this incredible new special offer. Before we get into it, Mike, I want to watch the video because, you know, when you told me about this, you know, these condo hotel units, I was like, yeah, you know, I have a house over there. I've seen them, but I'm blown away. Like, these are sweet, dude. Like, I'm super excited for everyone to see this video. So let's play the video. And then when we come back, Mike can go over all the details with cost and what it includes. Sit back and enjoy the show. Man, that is incredible. So you got the 2-bedroom loft. One side upstairs, you can see I guess you call it the activity pool. And then right outside your back door, you got that lap pool. How long is that?
I'm guessing 60 or 70 feet.
Dude, I've never seen a lap pool that long. You're going to get some good exercise. If you move to Coronado Golf, I expect you, I don't care your age, you should be ripped because you got that pool right behind your house. You have no excuses.
Right. Well, really, for me, it's purely, I'm looking at this thing as purely an investment, Austin. And just so that your viewers know, it's inside of the Coronado Country Club. And it's basically the hotel is selling the rooms. It's a 23-year-old hotel, and they're selling the rooms. They're all exactly the same size. What you saw there in the video, they're all the exact same size, except one is a 2-story. The one had the spiral staircase, so it has 2 bedrooms. Everything else is 1 bedroom.
Okay.
So they have the swim up unit, which is what I got. From what I understand, I called the developer today. There's 1 left. And there was a fella that watched the show 3 weeks ago, and he texted me and said, when you get the video, would you send it to me? And I sent it to him. And while you were interviewing Charlie, he texted me back saying, I want it. Give me all the details. But at any rate, basically, they have lots of the exact same unit that's called the Garden Suite, which is exactly like what I have, but without the pool. In fact, it looks the other way at the social area that you saw in the video. So you're overlooking the social area.
But can you still use the lap pool if you're in the garden?
Well, you'd use the social area pool. It's a bigger pool.
Yeah. Okay.
But, to be honest with you, I wouldn't see me in that lap pool very much. I'd go to the social area pool as well. It's got a bar.
With your margarita.
Yeah. But at any rate, the real deal is the deal. I mean, you can buy this unit for $80,000, make a down payment of $20,000, and finance $60,000 on a 30-year loan at 3% interest. Well, that makes your payment, principal and interest, $304 a month. When you add in the extra stuff, the maintenance fee, the electricity, the golf membership, and the property taxes, your total for that is $319 a month. So literally for $623 a month, you have a unit that provides 100% access to all the amenities of the country club, including unlimited golf, includes the green fees. So for me, I'm looking at it like I can rent that unit for approximately $1,100 a month. So if somebody were to come that was considering moving to Panama, come during the snowbird season, for instance, the winter time, like right now in Canada, I can't imagine it's a special treat.
Or most places in the U.S., it's pretty cold.
Right. So if you wanted to come down here during snowbird season and spend 3 months in this unit for $150 a month is unlimited golf every day. It's $80 a round, right, with the card. So if you came down and you stayed for 3 months, or even a month, whatever, you were coming to play golf.
So it's great rental. But then again, if you want to make it more long term and people can do what you're doing. Maybe someone wants to come down 6 months a year. Then the other 6 months, they put it in with Inside Panama Rentals services, and you and Martha rent it out for them and take care of the property for them. And when they come down, they still have their unit to live in.
I was watching Charlie's talking about where the market is way overvalued and the economy's down here, and I was thinking, okay, so I was thinking to my dad actually, and I was thinking, okay, so. Like he said, it's about timing. It's at your age as well, right? For me, I would take money out and pay cash for these units. And now I'm only looking at $319 a month, but I can still rent it for $1,100 a month. I'm netting $800 a month on my investment, and all the volatility went away that Charlie was talking about is clearly there. It's going to have adjustment in that market. not everybody's going to do well when that happens. So for me, I look at it as a good way of diversifying.
But still, even if you want to come down and live in it for under $500 a month with your, like you said, unlimited golf, unlimited tennis, pickleball, pool, don't you get free room service? Like you want to order some dinner to your house, your room?
Concierge. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You got a beach club, you got a country club, you got a restaurant, the country club,
spa, gym. It's unbelievable.
And if you like golf, I gotta say, I'm not the greatest golfer. I like it up until like my second shot. But the golf course is beautiful. I played tons of rounds of golf out there, especially with Mr. Mike there. And it's funny, I call you Mr. Mike. I never do that, only on the show, because it always reminds me whenever we're talking real estate of your guys in your office, I call you Mr. Mike, and they call me Mr. Austin. It's something they do down here in Panama. It's part of our awesome, fun kickback lifestyle. But man, those are great. So again, remember, if you're interested in any of the listings today, email free ebook at ipreinfo.com. You're also going to get that free relocation ebook. And then, of course, if you're wanting to know where should you live, if you want to have a fun questionnaire, 23 questions, it kind of just opens up and allows me to look at you and say, hey, I suggest you should check out these places, or you definitely probably going to be interested in this type of place. Because Panama, even though it's very, very small and you can drive across the country in less than, half a day, 5 hours, 6 hours, it's way diverse. And there's different climates, there's microclimates, there's so much going on with the different temperatures and weather styles. So it's a good way for us to connect and start you off on that Do Panama relocation program. So remember, if you want more information, you want those questions, you can also email me directly, austin@dopanama.com. You can also ask me questions about any of the listings. I can connect you directly with Mike. I can connect you directly with Charles. What Charles had to say was super interesting. I think a lot of people, like myself, I have no idea what I'm doing in stocks and whatever he was talking about. It sounded really smart and it made a lot of sense. Like, hey, if I give up some of my upside to the bank, at least they guarantee that I'm not going to take a fat loss because I'm someone that doesn't really know what I'm doing in that market. So both are great options here today, guys. Really appreciate you spending this hour with us here on the Sunday Spin. Remember, share, love, like, please. I really appreciate you. I really enjoy doing these shows, and it gives me tons of inspiration when this gets shared all over the internet. So if you can share this for me, start a watch party, I would greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys again next Sunday. We'll be showing you more about our beautiful life in Panama as we start the summer/dry season here in beautiful Central America. Guys, Mike, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great New Year's. And when is New Year's? Are we going to be back on the show before New Year's? I think we're going to be on the show after New Year's. Look at that. So I'll see you next year, brother.
Okay.
Have a great day, guys. Until next Sunday, ciao.